Hello traders, Rich here, and here's a quick but detailed update on EURUSD. As usual, if you guys like video analysis, let me know in the comments or simply leave a like. So let's get started. As we clearly see, EURUSD has been trading inside this giant symmetric triangle for a while, and it's currently approaching the lower bound or lower brown trend line, acting as a non-horizontal support. That's why we'll be looking for buy setups. Moreover, we have this horizontal support which has been acting as support previously, broken downward, now acting as resistance, and now turned into a support. Last but not least, we got this demand area as we had an aggressive movement outward from it. So this zone is a very strong zone to look for buy setups because it's the intersection of a demand, lower brown trend line, and this horizontal support. If we zoom into daily time frame, we can see it even cleaner. And EURUSD has been overall bearish for a while, which is this correction movement from here to here. So impulse, correction, impulse, and we are currently in this movement expecting a rejection from here. Of course, unless the bears manage to break below this zone, then it would become a resistance again, and so on. But for now, let's take it step by step. Overall bearish, approaching a support area, and we are also approaching this lower orange trend line, which I consider a non-horizontal support or an oversold area. We've got the brown trend line, orange trend line, support, and so on. It's a very strong area, but no matter how strong an area is, we don't buy blindly. We always zoom into lower time frames to look for buy setups. We always wait for extra confirmation and trigger that the bulls are finally taking over. And from daily time frame, and as you clearly see, as price approaches the upper band or upper orange trend line, which is a non-horizontal resistance, and this blue horizontal resistance was support previously, we'll be looking for trend following sell setups. But let's take it step by step. Now we are looking for buy setups. If you zoom into M30 time frame, we can see that EURUSD is stuck inside a range, trading inside these two red trend lines, and for now it's forming like an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Here's our, let me make it appear only on 30, fantastic. Here's our left shoulder, head, and right shoulder might be forming now. So if the bulls manage to break or trade higher to break above the neckline, which is covering the entire structure, the bulls would prove control. In this case, would be buying after a momentum candle close above it. And as usual, when the buy is activated, the stop loss would be below the previous swing low, which we can't really know where it would be. But for now, it is the right shoulder that might be formed, and we target 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio to have an edge over the market from a risk management perspective. And I always highlight this one as our trigger. Of course, meanwhile, and until this scenario happens, it's just a possible scenario. We don't predict what might happen next. We just wait for the market to make the first move and react accordingly. So we might also see price like form a new swing high and then breaks it upward. But this zone is a very strong zone that the bulls need to break for them to take over. Before we continue, I want to tell you about Tickmill. Tickmill is established in 2014 and is one of the leading Forex and CFD brokers with registered users from more than 200 different countries. Tickmill is a no-dealing desk and ECN broker regulated in many countries like the UK, Cyprus, and recently in South Africa. With Tickmill, you can trade a wide range of instruments, starting from Forex to indices, commodities, and even crypto. Most importantly, with very low spreads and trading fees. If you don't have an account yet, make sure to create one using my referral link in the description below to benefit from 5% discounts on your trading fees. And let's continue. As we clearly see, CADJPY has been overall bullish for a while, making higher lows and higher highs. However, it's currently approaching a very strong resistance area. If you check previously, it was acting as support, then price broke it downward. It's now acting as a resistance area. So as price is retesting it, we'll be looking for sell setups. We don't sell blindly. We always zoom into lower time frames for extra confirmation and trigger because price can still dive inside it before trading lower or even break it upward for it to become a support, just like here for example, and then trade higher. In this case, a movement at our next resistance would be expected. But let's take it step by step, right? Approaching a resistance area, so let's zoom into lower time frames and look for sell setups. We can see that price previously rejected this area 100, which is also a very strong round number, so rejected it, and now it's retesting this area. We also have a supply zone here as we had an aggressive movement downward from it. We can see it better from daily time frame. For now, CADJPY is trading inside this channel, and here's our last swing. So as per my trading plan, I'll be waiting for a momentum candle close below it to consider it our trigger. For those who know, I always highlight it like this. And when the sell is activated, the stop loss would be just above the previous swing high, so it might be here or here. It depends on the price action now, how it will develop, and we target 1 to 2 risk reward ratio to have an edge over the market from a risk management perspective. Of course, as usual, meanwhile, until the sell is activated, until the bears take over by breaking below the previous major low, CADJPY would be bullish and can trade higher and higher and form new lows around the trend line before breaking it downward, or even, as mentioned previously, break this resistance upward. Best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one.